This
define. So
conference will
we'll
now
click
be
them
recorded.
when we need to define, call them. Okay, so define and call basically. Okay. So whenever we talk about the JavaScript functions, we have some forms of functions. What we have? Some forms of functions. Okay. So forms of functions means we have like self-called functions. What we have? Self-called functions. So we don't have to call them explicitly. So, but once you load the page, that functions can be called. Not much useful, but they are there. Okay. So self-called functions or implicitly called functions, you can also call them such way. Okay. Then you have functions assigned to the variables. Now, up to now, what we have seen, we have assigned data to the variables. So data like something like x is equal to 3, x is equal to 4. So like that we have done up to now. But now what we can do is, so we can have the functions assigned to the variables. What we can have? Functions assigned to the variables. Okay, so how to call and all next story. So we have functions assigned to the variables, and third very important one is functions using arrow operator. Functions defined using arrow operator. Arrow operator is nothing but is equal to and greater than symbol. Is equal to and greater than symbol. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so self-called function or self-invoked functions. Next is functions assigned to the variables. Next is functions which are created or defined by using arrow operators. Using arrow operators. What is arrow operator? Equal to and greater than symbol. That's it. Yes. So these are the forms of functions that we can have. Okay. So first we'll talk about self-called functions. So self-called functions means just you put the function in the bracket. That's it. How you have to put? You have to put the function in the bracket. Or where you have to keep? You have to keep that function in the bracket. So function ni bracket lo petesi. Just you have to call it from there only. Okay, so I'll do that. So now let's create a function. So I'll not have very big function. So just a small function. What we will do is, so we will run this. Okay, and we'll keep it right here. Okay, now nothing is loaded, isn't it? Is anything loaded? No. So now what I'll do is I'll write a function. Okay, so something like one. Okay, so function something like one, and I want to go for printing hello world. Okay, and in the body I'll print something like h1. I'm using functions. Okay, so some line. So save this and refresh this. So now what I got? I'm using functions. So did one get called? No. So when one will get called? When you call it by saying that one and all, so then only it will be called. Okay. You give a button and then you can call. So all that you can use. But now what I will do is I will just say what I'm keeping. I'm just keeping the brackets. All the function I'm keeping in the bracket. That's it. And then I'm saying something like this. Okay. So I'm calling it right from there only. I'm calling it right from there on. Now tell me what happened. Before the page getting loaded, what came? Alert came. What came? Alert came. So how alert came, sir? Because you wrote that alert inside a function. But did I call that function? Previously also I did not call. Now also I did not call. But what concept I am using? I am using the self-defined functions or self-called functions or implicitly called functions. Means the functions which are called by themselves, which are called by themselves. So that kind of functions we call it as what? We call it as self-invoked functions or self-called functions or implicitly called functions. Names can be many. Am I clear? Yes. So what I've done? Did I do anything special here? Just I created one function. Yes. And what I did? I just kept a bracket, top and bottom. Yes, simple. And I just kept something like this and just said semicolon. That's it. Yes, I'm calling it from there only. I'm calling it from there only. Yes. Am I crystal clear? Yes or no? So simply do that and then refresh this and then you will get the hello world alert box. Not very much used, but still you can use it. So when you can use it, sir, when you don't want the function to be called. So when you want a function to do something, but I don't want to call it. When the page gets loaded, I want to get it loaded. Something similar to when you load a page, you'll get something, get cookies, something like that. So that is a prompt box, an alert box, or a confirm box. So if you want before you load the page, save this password, all that kind of information will be there now. So that information, if you want to get it here, so you can get it before the before somebody is clicking anything or understanding my point. So in that way you can use the self invoked functions. Is that clear? Am I crystal clear now? So so that is a way you can get the use of what self invoked function, self invoked functions. Clear? Okay. Now the second one is what we are going to have, the functions assigned to variables. Functions assigned to variables. Up to now, what we know, sir? Up to now, we know that we can assign. Suppose I want to assign 25. So 25, I want to assign to x1. Okay. So this one I know. Okay. Now x2 is equal to 34. Okay, this one also I know. Okay, then you go for variable x3 is equal to 54. This one also I know. What are these variables? Yes. Okay, and one more. Tell me the difference between all those. Three are same. Same in the sense they can be varied. They can be varied. So a different type of creating, that's it. But three properties are same, right? Okay. But what about the fourth one? It is fixed. We cannot change it. We cannot change it. Suppose if I'm saying x4 plus plus, if I'm saying x4 plus plus, will it change? X4 plus plus. X4 plus plus. So now will it change? No. Okay. What it will say? Will it give you an error or not? What error it is giving? Assignment to a constant variable. You may not look at it, but I can just copy this here. What it is saying? Assignment to a constant variable. What is the meaning of x4 plus plus? X4 plus plus is nothing but x4 is equal to x4 plus 1. So you are assigning a constant variable, so which is not possible, which is not possible. Yes. Okay. So now why we are talking about this, sir? We are talking about this because we have a function. We have a function. What that function will do? That function will be assigned to a variable. That function will be assigned to a variable. Let's say, okay. So now let's say I want to create a function called one. Okay. So I want to create a function called one, right? So something. Okay. So let's say I want to, okay, it is suggesting something, no? Alert hello world, right? Okay. Now I want to create a function two. Okay. So function two, right? Okay. Now what I'm asking you to do? So I'm asking you to assign them into assign them into variable. So something like this. Understanding my point now? What I'm asking you? I'm asking you to assign them into what? Into the variable, into the variables. Getting my point or not? Okay, to make it clear, just I want to put it this way. Done? Okay, so we'll leave these three and we will say function 2. Understanding my points or not? So function 2, I'm assigning to whom? Function 2, I'm assigning. So generally it is written in this way, but for your clarity, I wrote in this way. Okay. So generally our suggestion should be written in this way, right? So function 2. So this I can assign. Now what is waste? I mean, what is unnecessary? Waste I cannot say. I cannot use that word waste in the negative sense. It goes. What is unnecessary? This name and this name is unnecessary. Why? Because already you gave x1 and x4. No. Then what is the use of 1 and 2? Hope you are understanding my point. Yes? Okay. Now, for example, I want to call. I want to call 1. So, generally, what you used to do? You used to say something like 1. Yes? Something like 1. Okay. And something like 2. Right? Okay. Now, let us run this and check what happens. What it is saying? One is not defined. What is saying? One is not defined because you assigned them to x1 and x4. No, x1 and x4. Then what is the use of this? There is no use. There is no use. Okay. So now what I can say? I can simply remove this first. Okay. Right. Now, for your understanding, okay. So now function. What is the syntax of the function? So function name and all that. No. So when you have function, so what it is saying? Okay, again we will write. Again we'll try to run this. So still it is saying unexpected token something like okay. Let me just take off this. Let me see. Some unexpected token. This something it is saying. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll simply put brackets. Okay. What we have kept here? We have simply kept brackets. Done. Okay. Now, okay. So see what all I am removing slowly. Alert. Now the word function also I remove. Still it is saying unexpected string or something. Okay. So now things gets a little bit complicated. So try and understand. Let hello world and fine. So for our understanding. That's it. Okay. It's better రావాలి. Okay, 1 second. I think we can write it. Okay. Okay. So this is fine. Without this also we can manage actually. But why it is giving error? I'm not understanding. Without this also we can manage actually. Okay, no problem. I'll check it out. So okay, let's go with this. Now what I want to do, I want to call, okay, one with parameter we will keep. So a comma b. But anyhow, arrow functions we will have more impact on. Okay, now what is what I can call? Do I need to call with 1, 2, or x1 and x4? X1 and x4 is fine because whole function you are assigning it to x1 and x4. Your whole function you're assigning to x1 and x4. Okay. So simply what I can say, okay, let us use buttons. We will create or we'll use buttons. So button, what is the event? On click event. So it is on click event. On click is equal to, so what I need to say, x1. What I need to say, x1. Okay. So 1 and say button. So here I will say x4, and what x4 need to pass, 12 comma 13, 12 comma 13, and I will say why sir, what are 12 comma 13? What are 12 comma 13 parameters? You are passing parameters. Okay. So simply I'll run this. So one, if I am saying, what it is saying, hello world. Okay. So two, I am saying, what it is saying, hello world. So are you calling one and two? No, you are calling x1 and x4 because those are the variables into which we assigned the functions. Into which we assigned the functions. Is that clear? Yes. So in that way, we work with function assigned into the variables. Okay. And next very important thing is arrow function. So in arrow functions, what you have done, you used, so you used what? So you, okay, oh, we were forgetting that. Okay, no problem. So, okay. Now what I'm taking out, you observe. So what I'm taking out? I'm taking out all this and I'm using what? I'm using an arrow function. What I'm using? Arrow function. You understood what I did? Okay. So this is function, no? So this is assigned to a variable. Now what are waste according to us? What are unnecessary rather? This one is unnecessary, this two is unnecessary, this is unnecessary, this is unnecessary and all. So that is why we are slowly removing all these things. But we need to sell that, we need to say that it is a function, no? Yes or no? So how can we say? We say arrow. Hey arrow, this is a function. Okay, so what are you saying? Function which will do this activity. Function, understanding my point? Function which will do this activity. Which activity? Which activity? This alert hello. Now you understood what are arrow functions? Is this clear? So throughout your React.js, you will be using these arrow functions. You understood the replacements? Okay, once again. What are the replacements done? Tell me. Now, generally functions means this. Yes or no? Okay, I'll tell you all of them. Generally functions mean this. Yes or no? Yes? Okay. Now, what are self-invoked functions? Keep a bracket here. Keep a bracket here. Yes? Okay, so bracket here. And then you put the normal braces. So that will call itself. Okay. Now, second improvement, put a variable. x1 is equal to, and you can also assign into x4 is equal to, what is this option? Assigning functions to variables, assigning functions to variables, option number 1, option number 2. Done? Yes or no? Initially normal function, then self invoked you can just ignore, and then second third one is you are assigning functions to a variable, right? And then now what is unnecessary? I told you name is unnecessary, this function keyword is unnecessary. Slowly we removed them, slowly we removed them, and slowly we removed them. Okay, and what we said, we should say this is the logic of the function. How to show it? By using a arrow symbol, by using a arrow symbol, by using the symbol arrow is equal to and greater than symbol. That's it. Getting my points? What symbol? Is equal to and greater than. So what is this, sir? No parameters. No parameters, no return. No parameters, no return. Okay. With the parameters, you can even return, no problem. Suppose if I'm saying return hello world. What you are returning, basically, you are returning a string. You are returning a string. You can do that, no problem. You can do that, no problem at all. Okay, right. So you can write any lines of code. I'm not saying that you need to write this line only. Now, for example, if I'm saying uh, s1 is equal to hello, okay, and s2 is equal to world. Okay, so what it is saying? S1 plus, what is plus doing? Concatenation. So S1 plus space plus S2. Like this also you can write. You can write 10 lines, 15 lines, 20 lines. Doesn't matter at all. Yes. Now this function is what? No parameters, no return. No parameters, no return. What about the second one? With parameters, with return. What is the other type? With parameters, without return. Combinations only, no? Yes or no? If you understand two, other two are easy. Am I clear? Anything you can write, anything. Is that understood or not? Yes or no? Okay. Now, what I will say, I want to use X4. I want to use X4. So where I can use X4? I can use X4 in the body, no? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. So X4 in the body, X4 here, anyway I can use. So here, for example, if we are passing A and B, okay, okay, I don't want to complicate it, so let it be there. Yes, it returns. No, returns means where it should return? It should return back. It should return back. Okay. Innumma. Hmm? Parameters. అదే చెప్తాను. I want to match it actually. ఇది చేసినా చేయకపోయినా ఏం కాదు, అంటే ఉన్నాయి అంత జస్ట్ మీకు చూపించడానికి. ఓకే. ఓకే. నౌ టెల్ మీ. నౌ ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పండి ఏం చేస్తారు. When somebody is calling x5, when somebody is calling x5, Oh, sorry, when somebody is using X5, what will happen? Alert of X5. Okay, alert of X5. So what it will return? X4 will be called. So JavaScript will go S1 plus S2 plus Java plus script. Java plus script. So will be X5, no? Yes or no? Okay. Now we will save it. Now let's understand the flow. Now what I got? First output. Hello world JavaScript. Tell me how I got. Tell me how I got that. X4 X5 another. X5 is equal to what? You are using a function call. You are using a function call. So you are making the function call to get assigned into X5. X4 అనగానే ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తుంది కాల్? జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ వెళ్ళిందా? జావాకి వెళ్ళింది, స్క్రిప్ట్ బికి వెళ్ళింది. ఐ మీన్ జావా ఏలోకి వెళ్ళింది, స్క్రిప్ట్ బిలోకి వెళ్ళింది. ఓకే, తర్వాత S1 ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు hello, S2 is equal to world. Okay, return S1. What is S1? Hello space world. S2 ఏంటి? World. తర్వాత space A. What is A? Java. Then what is B? Script. Space script. అందుకనే ఇక్కడ script. అర్థమైందా? Now is it clear how the returns can be used? Now you understood? Say okay. ఇప్పుడు 1 అనండి. 1 అనగానే ఏమైంది? ఎందుకు? 1 means what is the call? X1 call. 1 means what call? X1 call. Now you understood the point? Is this clear or not? Now you understood all types of functions? Pakka? Understood the differences, how to do it? Yes or no? So this one is very, very important. Edi, the functions which are created by using the arrow operator. Using which operator? Arrow operator. So arrow operator chala important. So arrow operator use cheyali? No function keyword, no function name, use the arrow keyword, use equal to greater than symbol, and write the code of the function. And what you have to do first? You have to assign that into a variable. How to create a variable? You can use let, you can use normal variable var, or you cannot use anything, and you can use constant also. సార్ మనకి రియాక్ట్లో ఏం కనిపిస్తాయి సార్? ఎక్కువ అంటే కాన్స్టెంట్ కనిపిస్తాయి. ఏం కనిపిస్తాయి? కాన్స్టెంట్. CONSTలో మనకి ఈ వేరియబుల్స్ అన్ని, ఈ కాన్స్టెంట్స్ అన్ని కూడా అసైన్ అయినట్టు ఉంటాయి. అండర్స్టాండింగ్ మై పాయింట్స్? నౌ కెన్ యూ క్రియేట్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఇన్ ఆల్ టైప్స్? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? పక్కా? నో ప్రాబ్లం? ఓకే, రైట్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద వే దట్ we look into the functions అనమాట. So functions, as I've told you, very, very important, because throughout your journey into React.js, AngularJS, and AngularJS అంటే మనం చెప్పుకోము, but AngularJS is not being very much used nowadays. That is why we are skipping it. Okay, so more time we will take on React.js rather than on Angular. Okay, so atla we are going into the React.js. When we go into the React.js, we will see only these arrow functions, constant, ఇదే చూస్తుంటాం. కాబట్టి ఈ ఈ ఈ ఈ క్లాస్ మీకు చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎస్, ఓకే. Now let's go into the DOM. Okay, again very important thing. DOM. DOM stands for what? Document Object Model. Okay, I want you to read the lines slowly. Whenever we load a page, what gets created? DOM gets created. Whenever we load a page, DOM gets created. DOM stands for Document Object Model. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మీరు ఒక్కటి గమనించాల్సింది ఏంటి అంటే, ఓకే, సో ఐ థింక్ ఐ డి నాట్ గివ్ దట్. ఓకే, ఫైన్. నౌ ఒక హైరార్కీ తీసుకోండి. లెట్స్ గో ఇన్ టు హైరార్కీ. సో ఇదంతా పక్కన పెట్టేసేయండి. రైట్, ఒక హైరార్కీ తీసుకుంటే, who is the topmost tag? HTML tag. So HTML tag is the topmost tag, avuna? ఇప్పుడు హెడ్ ఉన్నా స్క్రిప్ట్ ఉన్నా ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నా దేని కింద ఉంటాయి? దే ఆర్ ఆల్ అండర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ ఓన్లీ. అవునా? సో ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మోడల్ తయారవడం అంటే ఏంటి అంటే యూ విల్ క్రియేట్ ఏ హైరార్కీ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్. ఐ షో యూ. Okay. Now, document. What is this? Document. So this is the root. This is the root. So document lo first ఏం చూస్తున్నారు మీరు? You are looking at HTML. అవునా? You are looking at what? HTML. Okay. HTML లో ఫస్ట్ ఏం చూస్తున్నారు మీరు? You are looking at the head. అవునా? What you are looking at? You are looking at the head. Right? Under head, what you are looking at? You are looking at the title. Under head, what you are looking? You are looking at the title. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే HTML ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనొచ్చు, హెడ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనొచ్చు, టైటిల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనొచ్చు. సో టైటిల్ కింద మీరు ఏం చూస్తారు? యూ విల్ సీ సమ్ టెక్స్ట్. యూ విల్ సీ సమ్ టెక్స్ట్. సో టెక్స్ట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ హైరార్కీ. Title ఒక hierarchy. Okay, title is one child, head is one child, HTML is one child of document. So text is the portion of text. Portion of text you are having under the title. So వాటి కింద ఏముండదు మళ్ళీ. లైక్ ఒక ట్రీ స్ట్రక్చర్ అనుకుంటే రూట్ యూ హ్యావ్, స్టెమ్స్, బ్రాంచెస్, లీవ్స్ ఆర్ అల్టిమేట్. ఇక లీవ్స్ కి సంబంధించిన ఏముందంటే ఈ టెక్స్ట్ ఇవేంటి? దీస్ ఆర్ ద లీవ్స్ అన్నమాట. దీస్ ఆర్ ద లీవ్స్. ఈజ్ మై పాయింట్ క్లియర్? సో దట్ ఈస్ వై దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మోడల్. డాక్యుమెంట్ లో ఉన్న ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్. ఈజ్ మై పాయింట్ క్లియర్? ఎస్. ఓకే. తర్వాత ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ HTML లో you have the body. HTML what you have? You have the body. బాడీ లోపల మళ్ళీ ఏముండొచ్చు? యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ H1. ఉండొచ్చా H1? H1 లో ఏముంటుంది? టెక్స్ట్. ఎస్. ఇప్పుడు H1 కు ఒక ఐడి ఉండొచ్చు. ఉంటుందా ఉండదా? H1 కు ఒక ఐడి ఉండొచ్చు, ఒక క్లాస్ ఉండొచ్చు. దెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ పారాగ్రాఫ్. పారాగ్రాఫ్. మళ్ళీ ఆ పారాగ్రాఫ్ ఒక ఐడి ఉండొచ్చు. సో ఆల్ దోస్ ఆర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఓన్లీ. Am I clear? So paragraph లో ఏముంటుంది? మళ్ళీ టెక్స్ట్. ఈజ్ మై పాయింట్ అండర్స్టూడ్ ఆర్ నాట్? సో అట్లానే బాడీలో ఇంకా వేరే వేరే ఎలిమెంట్స్ కూడా ఉండొచ్చు. ఈజ్ ఇస్ క్లియర్? హెడ్ లో లింక్ ఉండొచ్చు, స్క్రిప్ట్ ఉండొచ్చు, బాడీలో ఇంకో స్క్రిప్ట్ ఉండొచ్చు. నో ప్రాబ్లం. గెటింగ్ మై పాయింట్స్ ఆర్ నాట్? సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఓవరాల్ పిక్చర్ ఆఫ్ DOM. DOM stands for document object model. Where you find different elements, objects, whatever you call it. Am I crystal clear now? Okay. Whenever you load the page, what will be created? Body, head, P1s, H1s, whatever are there in them will be created. Yes or no? Am I crystal clear now? So ఒక డిఓఎం అనగానే మనకి ఏం తెలియాలి అంటే మనం ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ని ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ని ఎలా యాక్సెస్ చేయాలి, యాక్సెస్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఏం చేంజెస్ చేయాలి, రైట్? డిలీషన్ చేసుకోవచ్చా, అప్డేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చా, ఇవన్నీ అన్నమాట. Am I clear? Yes. So if you remember the first example that we had in JavaScript, we said get element by ID. It means what you are doing? వాట్ యూర్ డూయింగ్, ఆ టెక్స్ట్ ఐడిలో ఉన్న టెక్స్ట్ని మీరు లాగుతున్నారు. లాగి ఏం చేస్తున్నాము, దాన్ని డిలీట్ చేస్తున్నాం. We are deleting that and updating it with another element, another text rather. Getting me point or not? So those are the properties of the DOM. What are the properties of the DOM? DOM properties are we can extract, we can update, we can delete, we can change, rather update, change, simply. We can replace, we can do all the required activities. Is this crystal clear? Yes? Okay, now you read these lines. Now, as I told all the things what are there in those lines, now you can read them and tell me. Read them. నేను చెప్పినవన్నీ అక్కడే ఉంటాయి. Hmm. So what I said, all are there. Yes. So when the page gets loaded, who will be created? DOM will be created. DOM means that architecture or that hierarchy. HTML, under HTML you have head, under HTML, I mean under head you have title, script, link and all, and under body you have paragraphs. ఇట్లాంటి అన్ని. Am I crystal clear? Yes. So ఇదంతా జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ ఇంజన్ చూసుకుంటుంది, మనం చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. బట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు నో what all changes that I can do and all by using some inbuilt functions or inbuilt methods. ఈ 6 inbuilt methods are very very important. సో ఆ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్లో ఈ మూడు లాస్ట్ ఇవి ఉన్నాయా, 5, 6 and 1 ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. 6 ఇంపార్టెంటే, అందులో 1, 5, 6 ఆర్ ఈవెన్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు లుక్ ఎట్ దెమ్. ఇస్ మై పాయింట్ క్లియర్? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఫస్ట్ వన్ టెలింగ్ యూ, జస్ట్ ఒక ఐడియా తెచ్చుకుందాం. Get element by id. What do you mean by id? p id is equal to అని ఇస్తున్నాం కదా. ఎస్, అదనమాట. ఓకే, get element by name. By name, get elements by name, by the name. So suppose input type is equal to name is equal to, you give, no, so you are getting by that అనమాట, by that name. You are extracting the element by that name. Okay, get element by class name. మీరు మళ్ళీ h1 class is equal to ఇస్తున్నారు కదా, by using that class you are extracting. Get element by tag name. By using the tag name h1 p body, అట్లా tag names use చేస్తున్నా. Query selector all similar, but by the name we cannot judge it, we'll know it. Yes, understood the idea now? Get వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తామనే తర్వాత స్టోరీ. ఈ గెట్లు ఏం చేస్తాయి, ఈ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఏం చేస్తాయి, దే విల్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ ద ఎలిమెంట్స్. వన్స్ యూ గెట్ ఇట్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్టెడ్, వాట్ టు డూ అనేది నెక్స్ట్ స్టోరీ. ఓకే, సో ఆ వాట్ టు డూ అనే దానికి మనకి ఇంకొన్ని ఫంక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. సంథింగ్ లైక్ ఇన్నర్ టెక్స్ట్, ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్. ఓకే, సో ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్, సో వాట్ డస్ ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ డూ? It will it is used to make the changes. It is used to make the changes to the extracted element. Is my point clear? Yes. Okay, సో అట్లనే ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్, ఇన్నర్ టెక్స్ట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు నేను మళ్ళీ చూపిస్తాను. ఓకే, So first we will talk about the get element by ID. Now tell me what happens. ఇది ఒకసారి అర్థం చేసుకుంటే మనం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రాద్దాం. ఏమవుతుంది ఇక్కడ? So try to understand by looking at the example output also. ఏం చేస్తున్నాము? డాక్యుమెంట్ డాట్. What is document now? Your whole HTML document that you loaded. Document dot get element by ID. My ID. Where is my ID? My ID is here. My ID is here. Okay. So constant, see here, constant d is equal to you are getting that element and you are alerting that. So ఇక్కడ మీకు డైరెక్ట్ గా ఈ hello dom అనేది ఏం ప్రింట్ అవ్వదు. What is printing? You just try to look at. What is printing? Object HTML heading element, something it is giving. HTML heading element, something it is giving. Is it giving hello dom? No, it won't give you hello dom or anything. Right? అట్లా ఇచ్చేసింగ్ అంతా ఎన్ని ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేసేసేయచ్చు. ఓకే, సో వీ కెనాట్ గెట్ దట్ అండ్ దేర్ ఈస్ నో యూజ్ ఆల్సో. యూజ్ ఏముంది అది తీసుకుంటే? ఏమైనా యూజ్ ఉందా దానివల్ల? ఏం లేదు. సో మరి ఏం చేయొచ్చు సార్? దాన్ని చెప్పాను కదా, ఎక్స్ట్రాక్ట్ చేసి ఆ హెలో డిఓఎం బదులు ఇంకో వేరే టెక్స్ట్ ఏదైనా ప్రింట్ చేసుకుందాం. అది తీసేసి, డైనమిజం అంటే అదే కదా, అది తీసేసి ఒక్క క్లిక్తో అది చేంజ్ చేద్దాము. మరి అలా చేంజ్ చేయాలంటే నాకు ఎవరు కావాలి? ఐ నీడ్ ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్. ఐ నీడ్ వాట్? ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్. ఓకే, రైట్. నౌ సీ హియర్. ఇక్కడ ఏమంటున్నాను? గెట్ ఎలిమెంట్ బై ఐడి, మై ఐడి డాట్ డాట్ ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్. ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్. సో అంటే ఆ ఎలిమెంట్ తీసుకొని ఆ ఎలిమెంట్ మీద నేను మ్యానిపులేషన్స్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఓకే, విల్ కంబైన్లీ రైట్ ఇట్ నౌ. సో నౌ యూ హ్యావ్ టు టెల్ మీ the code. Okay, whatever you have seen. Okay, so we will try to write arrow function. Okay, so we'll try to practice arrow functions. Okay, now tell me how to write the arrow functions. Better always to use a constant. Better always to use a constant. CONST. Something. Okay, so x1 or DOM demo. Okay, so otherwise big name, no? So DD DOM demo, something like that. Okay, now parenthesis. Now I don't want any parameters. Arrow function, very good. Arrow operator, right? Better to say. Now say what do we need to do? We need to extract the element by ID. Means I need some ID. Okay, that idea. So you need to check for the body. No, in the body you have to go for the ID, where IDs will be created. Inside the body only, no, inside the body. So ఇప్పటివరకు పర్పస్ ఏముండే ఐడి క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి? CSS స్టైలింగ్ ఉండే, ఫర్ CSS స్టైలింగ్. బట్ నౌ వీఆర్ ఆల్సో యూజింగ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ట్రాక్టింగ్ ఆల్సో. సార్ CSS పెట్టుకోవచ్చు అంటే నీ ఇష్టం, అంటే ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు, దాని అన్ని ఇండిపెండెంట్. సో P ID is equal to PID is equal to, so I will say something like DOM ID, something. Okay, I use same thing I can use. So my ID. Okay, so my ID, hello, I may okay, so hello I may disappear with a click. Now I need to extract that. Okay, I need to extract that. So how to extract this? When a function is clicked, okay, so it is giving me option. So get element by ID. So what is saying? Get element by ID. So what is saying? On click document dot get element by ID. మనం ఈ కోడ్ అంతా ఎక్కడ రాద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాము? We wanted to write it inside a function. డైరెక్ట్ కూడా రాయొచ్చు, తప్పేం లేదు, బట్ ఇట్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఎ బెటర్ ఐడియా. ఇన్లైన్ ఎప్పుడు బెటర్ ఐడియా కాదు. Okay, ఎప్పుడు కూడా we have to take the help of other components. Inline is always not a better idea. Okay, so because we want to make it more readable, okay, so kabatti inline is not always a good idea. Okay, right. So document dot get element by id. hmm. ఏమన్నా ఇప్పుడు dot inner html, directly I can write. So dot inner html is equal to something. I will appear. Okay, what I need to call now? I need to call dd, no? Yes or no? Yes. Why is it dd? Why? It's a variable. It's a variable which is allocating the function, which is allocating the function. So in this example I wrote two different lines, but in this example I wrote it in one line ante. తేడా ఏం లేదు. Yes or no? I told you, right? So more readable ante, right? So నేను రాసింది more readable, ఎందుకంటే మీకు రెండు ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఉంటే మీకు కూడా హాయిగా ఉంటుంది కదా అని రెండు ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. సో లెట్ d is equal to, you are extracting that element into d, and on that d you are writing the inner html. లేదు సార్ నాకు ఏ ఆ స్టైల్ నచ్చిందంటే మీ ఇష్టం, ఇట్స్ అప్ టు యూ, ఇట్స్ ఆల్వేస్ అప్ టు యూ. సో దెర్ ఇస్ నో హార్డ్ అండ్ ఫాస్ట్ రూల్ దట్ దిస్ ఓన్లీ షుడ్ బి దేర్, అట్లాంటి ఏం లేవు. అర్థమైందా? ఓకే, సో సింప్లీ ఐ విల్ సేవ్ దిస్. Okay, now tell me what happened. Once I loaded, DOM got loaded. DOM loaded with what all? DOM loaded with a body. In that body, we have a paragraph. What that paragraph is? Hello, I may disappear with a click. Okay, and a button. So in that, when you click on that button, what will happen? When you click on the button, what will happen? DD will be called. So what this DD will do? So DD will be called. DD will be called. Okay, then click చేయగానే ఎవరు కాల్ అవుతారమ్మా? క్లిక్ చేయగానే డీడీ కాల్ అవుతుంది. సో డీడీ కాల్ కానీ డీడీ పని ఏంటి? డీడీ పని ఏంటి అంటే మై ఐడిలో ఉన్న ఎలిమెంట్ని తీసుకొని ఇన్నర్ హెచ్టిఎంఎల్ యూజ్ చేసి దాన్ని మాయం చేయడం, చేంజ్ చేయడం, మ్యానిపులేట్ చేయడం, చేంజ్ చేయడం. ఈజ్ దట్ క్లియర్? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? సో సింప్లీ ఐ క్లిక్ దిస్. టెల్ మీ వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్. ఈ టెక్స్ట్ అనేది వచ్చింది. ఏ టెక్స్ట్ వచ్చింది? ఈ టెక్స్ట్ వచ్చింది. Done or not? So that is how you are going to take which one? Document dot get element by id. అక్కడ ఐడిలో ఇక్కడ ఏం వాల్యూ ఇవ్వాలి? ఏ ఐడి నేమ్? ఈ ఐడి నేమ్ ఇవ్వాలి. అంటే దేంట్లో చేంజెస్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాం ఆ ఐడి నేమ్ ఇవ్వాలి. సరే పారాగ్రాఫ్కి ఇవ్వాలా? అట్లేం లేదు, మీ ఇష్టం. H1కి ఇవ్వండి, పారాగ్రాఫ్కి ఇవ్వండి, దేనికైనా ఇవ్వండి, నో ప్రాబ్లం. Crystal clear? Yes or no? So this is how DOM will work, right? Inner HTML ఎట్లా ఇన్నర్ టెక్స్ట్ అవి కూడా ఉంటాయి. సో తర్వాత టైం వచ్చినప్పుడు అవి కూడా చూద్దాం. Am I clear? Okay, next get element by name. Now tell me what happens here. Get element by name. So elements rather, get elements by name. So what is FB? What is FB? Name. ఇక్కడ రేడియో బటన్. జనరల్ రేడియో బటన్ మీన్స్ వాట్? రేడియో బటన్ మీన్స్ వాట్? Select one option. Select one option. అంటే నేమ్ అన్ని సేమ్ ఉంటాయి కదా. Okay, so for now just understand this. Later on I'll give you a small example wherein once you click on something you will get that name. అంటే ఏం క్లిక్ చేసావో అది అపియర్ అయ్యేటట్టు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తాను. దానికి కొంచెం ఇంకా కావాలి. So now tell me what happens. We are extracting all the buttons, I mean all the elements by what? By FB. All the elements by FB. What are the elements that are there by FB? Worst, very bad, bad, అన్ని ఉన్నాయా లేదా? Yes or no? Okay. So otherwise what I will do is I will just write it for you. So in the body what should be there now? Input. Okay. Let's ask our assistant to do that. What is the comment in HTML? In HTML, what is the comment? Only, no? Remember? Feedback form with only video buttons. Let's see what our nothing it is giving. Huh? Okay. Power of AI. Right? Okay. Now name, gender. All genders only, no? Okay. Now what I want? Get elements by what? Name. Get element by name. So let me put it in OP. Okay. Right. So get element by name OPT, and we will alert OPT and see what will happen. Okay. Or otherwise console.log of OPT. HTML not required. So let me go for saving this. Oh, sorry. Console whatever. Anything will print. Get elements by name. Get elements, no? Okay. So what do you see? In the node list, you will not get that names and everything. Node list. So what is node list? ఇప్పుడు మనకు ఒక కలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, అది ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఒక నోడ్ లిస్ట్ లో వస్తుంది. సో ఈ నోడ్ లిస్ట్ ఎట్లా యూస్ చేయాలంటే తర్వాత. ఓకే, నౌ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ what option? Get elements by name. Get elements by name. So what all names you are getting here? Gender. Okay, so gender అని పెట్టాం. సో ఇక్కడ రేడియోకి వస్తుంది. లేదు సార్ నేను మార్చుకుందాం అనుకుంటున్నాను అంటే ఇక్కడ మార్చుకోవచ్చు, నో ప్రాబ్లం. సో ఫర్ టూ నేమ్స్ విల్ నాట్ బి ద సేమ్. రెండు ఇన్పుట్స్ కి నేమ్స్ సేమ్ ఉండవు కదా, అందుకని ఇది చూపించాను. ఎస్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ టైప్ లాగిన్ ఉంది, లాగిన్ కి నేమ్ వేరే ఉంటుంది, పాస్వర్డ్ కి నేమ్ వేరే ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సో అట్లా. సో I wanted to just show you with the name. Okay, so this is how we use the get elements by name. ఏమేమి చూసారు? రెండు DOM functions, get element by ID and get elements by name. So tomorrow we'll see the other things. Okay, we'll see the other things and we'll also see inner text ఎట్లా పనిచేస్తుంది అట్లా చూద్దాం. Okay, right. So hopefully everyone understood this class. So notes I'll send you, no problem. Right. Okay. Thank you.